Hello my friends, this is Wake Angel 2001 coming at you with a review of the new wave of Sonic the Hedgehog figures. This is one of the first times when I bought all the figures in the wave, mostly because this is the first time we're getting a re-release of Silver and Rouge, and by funny coincidence, my upcoming wave of commissions would actually work pretty well using these guys as base toys. So yeah. Of course, we're not going to be talking about re-releases because I've already spoken about these figures. They're fine. But there are two new figures in this wave. Wha-bam! The new version of Classic Sonic and Neo Metal Sonic. Oh yes, we are getting into this. We are going to be talking about the newest releases of these characters. One brand new to the line, and yet another refinement to an old, what do you call it? The old guard, I guess? We'll go with that. So, yes, this video is going to focus on Neo Metal Sonic, because I feel like if I try to talk about the new Classic Sonic first, everyone will just click off the video and then go to the Neo Metal video. So, my best bet for both of these videos to be watched would be to start with the one that everybody wants to see first. By the way, if you hear a noise in the background, that hum, you're probably listening to the air conditioning. Normally I would turn that off so there wouldn't be any background noise, but it is way too hot, so I'm not gonna be recording without that now because my apartment will instantly turn into a sauna, and yeah. Okay, so here is Neo Metal in his packaging. We turn around, it advertises 14 points of articulation. Oop, if my ring light won't be making it illegible. There we go. So yeah, you can see the other figures that are in this wave. I love the close-up of his face. It looks just like how it was framed in Sonic Heroes. So the character description is an enhanced shape-shifting form of Metal Sonic whose goal was to conquer the world. Yeah, that's basically right. And he comes with an electric wand. That's what they're calling his accessory, an electric wand. Alright. Okay, so that's enough of the description. So let's get this guy out of the packaging and see if Jakks Pacific did as good a job as I did. I found this to be supremely amusing. It kind of came apart in itself coming out of the packaging from the way the blister was holding it closed. You know, does anybody remember my old webcomic, Captain N, The Next Generation? Because this totally happened in Metal Sonic in my comic, and I find it personally amusing. But don't worry, nothing's broken. Let's get it back together and actually do the review. Okay, so here he is all put back together again and ready for inspection. I have him holding his accessory, which they call the Lightning Wand. I kind of had the feeling that somebody didn't quite get the assignment. It's not that he had a wand that summoned lightning, it's that he called down a bolt of lightning to do his big transformation into, you know, that kaiju that he was. What do you call the kaiju version of him? Metal Overlord? Yeah, Metal Overlord. But, yeah, like, for what it's worth, he can hold it, so it does kind of work with the whole wizard robot aesthetic, well, with the flowing robes and his lanky body. Like, yeah, it's actually a very good wizard aesthetic. If you want Metal Sonic to look like a wizard, yeah, you did it. And you know what? I never really thought about it, but doesn't he just have so much of a wizard aesthetic going on? Lightning bolt aside, like, the flowing robes, the pointy shoes with the upturned toes, the way he has like a big billowing sleeve on his arm. This is absolutely a wizard look. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that I'm only now seeing it, despite the fact that I made this action figure in the past. Okay, so let's get the accessory out of the hand, get a close-up look at this guy. Yeah, like, I feel like there's some deformity from the packaging. I probably had to stick it in boiling water or spray it with a hair dryer until it gets soft and then reshape it. I do not remember this detail. Like, he had this one really huge back spine that just protruded all the way up like this. I don't remember that. Like, I mean, granted, it was very difficult to actually get a good look at Neo Metal Sonic in the game because he only appeared for a brief amount of time in this form. And I don't think that his data would have been in the game, because the only time we ever see this version of Neo Metal Sonic is during the fully rendered cutscenes. He doesn't, unlike Infinite, he doesn't even appear in any gameplay cutscenes. So there would have been no model to download from the game's files, because they would have only been in the video files, not the actual in-game stuff. You know. Yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, the robe, it's a flexible enough plastic, but it's stiff, so it's gonna be like it's asymmetrically blowing around, which does kind of capture an aesthetic if you're going for that kind of thing. Yeah, not terrible. So this is actually one of the first figures in this line that has a waist swivel. That's kind of impressive. Although, like, the mushroom cap is a little weak, so it can disarticulate relatively easily, but it holds up well enough. And if it comes out, it pops right back in. Arms, like, they swivel at the shoulder, but I feel like there is in and out movement, especially in the right arm, but so little, like, I don't think it's intentional. Like, yeah, that's it. I don't know if there's actually like a pin disc in there and then it's just the shape of the joint that prevents it from moving, or if like it's just a mushroom cap. He does have an elbow that bends beyond 90 degrees, so that's a good bend. But then they screwed it up again. He doesn't have a proper bicep swivel. He has a wrist joint here in his elbow and then a second wrist joint that's actually at his wrist. So just like with the regular Metal Sonic figure, he has spinning meat for a forearm. Like, this was such a perfect opportunity, and you screwed it up again, Jax! How could you screw it up again? How many times are you gonna screw that up? Oh, look. The exact thing I said would happen. Yes, see, that's kind of a short little mushroom peg. Yeah. Yeah, although there is head movement, not much. I mean, his head moves. I can't decide. It moves until the spine clashes with the shoulder. The back spine does not, in fact, clash with the head spines. You'd think it would be the back spine, but it's not. Hips, they are pegged in the same way that Amy's hips are pegged in. So they can go forward. They would be able to go back, except for the skirt. They can go out a certain degree until, again, they hit the skirt. He has a knee, and the knee has a proper swivel. Do this for the elbows. This is how the elbows needed to be made. Oh my god, I cannot believe you screwed that up. And ankles. They go forward, they go back, they go side to side, they can tilt. So, in principle, you can actually get Neo Metal Sonic to stand with both feet flat, even if he's like taking a step forward, and that's cool. So, yeah. I think I ate that. Okay, so a very weak waist peg is the only physical issue I have with this guy, apparently. And aside from that, his deco is actually pretty well done. Very sharp painted stripes on his spines. They got the inside of his ears red, just like they actually is in the game. His little eyeliner. Only thing is, all the parts on him that you would expect to be silver, they made them white. Like, the insides of his arms are white. The knee spikes are white. Admittedly, the striping deco is white, and that's supposed to be white, so that actually looks good. His thighs are white. Everything is white. There's like... He's a very primary color scheme. Like, he looks very patriotic almost, with all the red, white, and blue going on. I guess after conquering the world, he was hoping to win over America with a patriotic color scheme. Like Uncle Metal wants you to join the Eggman Empire. You know, like, look at me, I'm practically a walking American flag. I'm all red, white, and blue here. But yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with the figure's deco. It's well sculpted. There is a little bit of QC issue with the way his waist keeps popping off, but when it's on, it's not like it's floppy and wobbly. It just is a short peg that can pop out relatively easily. And in fact, I guess that leaves room for customization, because since you can so easily remove his waist joint, you can pop that out and then cut off his vinyl skirt and put on one made out of fabric, so it'll be a little bit more flexible. And then, you know, like, it's easy to customize. Alright, so I know what you guys are thinking. There's a comparison that has to be made, huh? Like, when they first announced this figure, I did a lot of talking about how this was a personal challenge. So let's go ahead and start to compare Metal Sonic to Metal Sonic.